log in.
Okay,
Who's that?
I will leave and try again.
Yeah, thank you,
I
sister.
think now your screen has become black. So it was initially some blurred screen. Anyway, she's gone.
She will
So
be
let
in
me
a
just,
minute.
Yes. Yeah. So let me just introduce her and save time on this. She is basically into Brahma Kumari since almost, I must say, 35, 40 years now. She was born in the US, did her higher education in France, and worked there for 10 years to again return back to US. And she's worked for 15 years as a senior lecturer at Boston University. And she came into contact with Brahma Kumaris because of her keen interest in social development. And she was invited to open the first BK Center in Boston, where I said she worked for 15 years, and later also coordinated the activities of the Massachusetts Center there, and gradually extended to creating more and more centers in other locations within what is called the New England area over there. And with all this, then she was invited to bring the work of the BKs, Brahma Kumaris, to Israel, where right now she's currently serving. And that is since 1998. It's a very difficult place to serve because you all know a lot of religious disharmony happening in such places, difficult to speak about such sensitive issues. But she has been tirelessly serving there since 1998. Almost 25 years now. So I hope she has joined because I thought, yeah, she's there here, but again, we can't see her, can we? So it's okay. So I'll just speak the poem and then we'll give it to her. So it's okay if only we can hear the audio, Sister Sharonah, doesn't matter. So, so I'll just speak a few lines and then it's all yours. So she's the true, so let me just share this. I mean, I just spoke to her 12 hours ago because we had issues with the previous speaker of her health, and she just said yes. So she's the true server of the Supreme, who is indeed so tireless. She serves selflessly 24/7 for humanity and is indeed so desireless. Being a Shiv Shakti, she's full of courage and is fearless. And through her actions, she teaches us how to be in the entireness, the Behad. She gives us the knowledge of the soul, who is indeed genderless, because her connection with the divine is strong, yet fiberless. We are all in the Wi-Fi age, wireless, which gives all of us the feeling of togetherness. And today you all shall witness the depth of her fineness, which makes us go into the concept of oneness and finally gives us the title of His or Her Highness and Holiness. So thank you so much. Yeah, now we can see you very clearly. So thank you, all yours. And we'll be playing the video whenever you ask us. Sister Anu will be doing that here. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for such a beautiful introduction. May I be worthy of it. I always feel that when Brahmins introduce other Brahmins, when BKs, students of the Brahma Kumaris, introduce other Brahma Kumaris, it's almost as if we share blessings with each other. So thank you very much for those blessings. And I'm also just looking at the audience, clearly very powerful, very knowledgeful souls. So it's indeed an honor to be with you all today. And I must say that when our brother Manoj shared with me the workshop you all did before this hour, I really wondered to myself, is there anything left to say? I mean, between your own experiences, your own sensitive intelligence, and those beautiful exercises you were just put through, what more can I say? What more can I do? But since I've been invited, since I've been asked, let me share with you a few thoughts on this incredible subject. If I had had a bit more advance notice, I myself would have participated in that first hour because I'm sure it was very rich. And I just hope I'm not going to be repeating too much, something you would have already uncovered through your own explorations in this last hour. But I can tell you, I did watch twice that icebreaker video you saw. At least you were supposed to see it. I'm assuming you did see it, where you had this fellow arguing with this other fellow, is basically the same actor, significantly the same actor. One proposing to be very open-minded and the other acknowledging that he was not open-minded. And then ultimately, the one promoting himself as open-minded turned out to be the one who was the most closed-minded, or at least got himself into as much trouble as anyone who is closed-minded would do. I really, really enjoyed that video. I don't know how you found it, but I liked it very much because it is indeed what happens to us while professing to be humble, while professing to be very accepting, while professing to be open-minded. We can actually turn out to prove ourselves to be the exact opposite. Isn't that so? Because ultimately, what did we see in this fellow who promoted himself as open-minded? We basically saw characteristics which are the exact opposite of open-mindedness. We saw stubbornness. We saw pushiness. Do you remember this little icebreaker you had at the beginning? He was stubborn. He ended up being stubborn. He ended up being very pushy. He ended up being very opinionated. The one who promoted himself as open-minded, he ended up being very stuck, not budging, narrow-minded, opinionated. So we have all these characteristics, which basically we could call the opposite behaviors of someone who is not open-minded. Leading to behaviors also such as controlling and bossiness and many other very unpleasant energies. What produces this? On the one hand, we think ourselves one thing, but in actual interactions with others, we see something else, if we're honest. In this particular case, the case of this icebreaker that we watched, how did this seemingly open-minded person end up so closed-minded? Did you or do you notice what's probably going on when we move from truly being open-minded to actually being quite stuck and narrow-minded? What was going on there? Did you notice? Would anybody like to say? You can put it in the chat, for example. What leads us to closing our mind? Any thoughts? Do you remember that icebreaker? What's going on in that guy's heart? So that he actually ended up being the one exhibiting the behaviors of closed-mindedness, ego, I'm seeing. No feeling for the other. Anyone else? Giving value to my thoughts more, our own thoughts more. Good definition of ego. Acceptance. I need a translation here. Something about acceptance and arrogance, but if somebody can translate, our sister from Brazil. My way or the highway, taking from the mind, not from the heart. That's so interesting. Not knowing the self. Yeah. Very deep answers. I'm looking at something very practical. Fear of losing control. This is all very good stuff. And you know, in 2 words, we've got arrogance and ignorance here. Yeah. And 2 words which are very practical and something we all can be watching out for. And we need to be watching out for. Being judgmental, ego, inferiority versus superiority, holding on to a wrong image of the self, controlling, criticizing. But all of this is best expressed or most commonly expressed through which 2 energies? So you have shared, they're very good answers. They're very deep answers, spiritual. You're looking at the spiritual roots, which is right. But could we say, in a nutshell, if we want to be practical, that this guy ended up more closed-minded than the guy admitting his closed-mindedness because he had expectations. And together with expectations, there is neediness. What do we expect? What do we need? So many times it occurs to me that we need other people to be playing by the same rules as me. We expect other people to be in the same game as me, not to mention playing by the same rules. And actually, it is not an easy thing to drop our expectations and be absolutely without any kind of need in front of other people and certain situations. Think about it a minute, right? This is where the real issue and the real challenge to open-mindedness comes from. I don't know how much your workshop beforehand might have touched upon this, but just see the expectations I have and the neediness inside me for other people to play by the same rules as me and to be in the same game. So this is very big, and it brings out these 2 questions. Where do I get the power to drop all such expectations and be without any such neediness? And the second question is, how do I work with people who are not in the same game and they are not playing by the same rules? Dr. Manoj, are these 2 good questions or have they been covered?
No, they are perfect questions. Yeah, you don't need my approval.
Well, I'm just curious because they did occur to me as I watched that icebreaker. Okay, so let's take a look at these 2 questions. But before we answer them, I would like to show you a little video. see if that can stir some insights. You can just, before we see the video, think about this a minute. The two questions, right? Number one, where do we get the power to drop our expectations and any kind of neediness? And secondly, how do we work with people who are not in the same game, do not play with the same rules? So think about this for a minute. If you want, you can put in some responses, but mostly it's worthwhile just to think about it for a moment. Anybody want to share in the chat? That's fine. Well, small power, unconditional acceptance and love by taking power from God, which is not a small thing. And that is, of course, the best use of our spiritual practice, isn't it? Anyone else? I can work with people, not waiting for external appreciation, I think. Peaceful, non-monetary. To work with this attitude, both are right. I missed that last one, both are right. Be interested in the game. That's nice. That's nice. You know, this curious, adventurous. You know, don't be affected by criticism from others. Unconditional love, no limit. See others' abilities. Okay, good. So we've got some ideas. Let's take a look at this video now. I'm sure you would have many more, but let's see this video and see if we can come up with some other ideas. And I hope you've got it queued up to the beginning and you're ready to pause it at that last frame, not stop it, but pause it, because before and after is a lot of other stuff which we don't want. Great. We just hold that. You can put that picture back up, that last frame. I don't know if you can get it, but that's where I wanted it to hold. If we can catch it still. Yeah, let's just hold that a minute. Now, I don't know about you, but I could not watch the video accurately. It was very slowed down. Manoj Bhai, how did it look from your side or other listeners? Did it move along smoothly? Could you
There was a little bit
have
of
gymnastics
slowness, but
going on there?
It was
Say
jerky.
that again.
It was
Say it
jerky.
again. It was jerky, so maybe you couldn't catch what I really needed you to see. Any ideas about how we can improve the view of that?
Is it for everybody? I'm not sure. It played fine from here.
Yeah.
But is it internet? Maybe we can all, I don't know, somebody said switch off the videos and then I can replay it.
For me,
Uh,
it was
oh.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, for someone it was good. You
For
could
me
see the
too.
whole thing.
Yeah, for me
Yeah,
too, it was fine.
somebody, okay,
But
somebody was
it's good
saying
enough to analyze.
good enough to
It's good
analyze.
enough.
Okay, okay. So, yeah, let's hold this picture for a few minutes. We won't move from that. And just maybe we can help each other understand what we just saw, especially for those in which it was jumpy. So first of all, did you like this video? Why or why not?
I liked it because it talked about reality that I feel, that I see.
Okay, okay. So are you in this story? Are you in this picture? And if you are, where are you? Which one are you?
That very tricky question. Yeah, I think I'm the one who is being still rescued.
So what did we see? Who are the players in this little story? Those who saw, yeah, those who saw it well. What did you see?
I think it is me, my actions, my decisions. It is me, the main actor. I initiate something that explodes, that I don't have any control anymore, as the things that traps me. I become trapped inside of all those repercussions of my actions.
Okay, hold on. I'm just going to stop you there. Excuse me for that, but that's your interpretation. For those who weren't able to see well, what exactly were we seeing? Not our interpretation, but what exactly did we see?
An angel rescuing from.
Okay. We saw Adam and Eve and the apple, the life before the apple and the life after the apple, the enemies of light. We saw all these spooky dancers, ugly costumes, and they were doing terrible things to a little one in white. Terrible things. They tried to smother her. They kept throwing her around up in the air, and she was upside down. At one point, she was trying to escape, and they wouldn't let her escape. And then suddenly we saw this huge angel. And when this angel appeared, all these ugly little guys just collapsed. Right? That's what we saw. No interpretation, but that's what we saw.
Right.
Yeah. Again, I've got Spanish. I'll need some translation for that. So once again, where are you in that story? It reflects our greed, but the power of the observer who cares with detachment. Okay, there's an interpretation. But going back to my other question, are you in this story? And if so, where are you? Dark side and light side of people, that's an interpretation. Again, are you in this story? And if so, where are you?
Sister, I see myself, probably catching when they swirl the girl around and, just, being a part of, catching the girl, saving or kind of like, not letting her fall, maybe.
So who are you?
This is Shalini here.
No, but in the movie, which one are you?
I'm the person, holding the girl or the lady.
You're the person holding the girl, the lady, in the end, at that last picture, or during the dance?
During the dance, when they were, all in a group and they were swirling her around, and I'm one of the person who's trying to not let her fall or save.
Okay, you're the one catching her or trying to save her. Okay. I'd still like to go back to that frame. Keep us on that frame if it's easy to find again, Anubend. Anyone else? Who
Yes,
are you? Yeah.
Yes, I just feel that that I am a girl, that I'm the one that's trying to break free from whatever life is doing or dealing with me, and I just found the comfort and the solace in the angel. So I think that I'm almost there in my life, but still trying to escape from the world.
Okay, so you see yourself as that little girl in white who was being thrown all over the place, and at the end, seeking comfort, support, and strength from that angel. Anyone else?
Well, kind of the opposite. I see myself as that angel rescuing others.
Oh, okay. So you are that angel and you are rescuing others. Okay. Anyone else?
I feel like I'm all of it.
In what sense?
Well, in the sense of it's the beginning, middle, and end of what Baba is talking about to us. And so Adam and Eve are the beginning, the middle, and the end. So of course, I'm relating to all of it because sometimes it's great and very angelic. Other times it's quite devilish, depending on how well I have mastered myself. So this is about learning to master myself and all aspects of what the process is to become angelic and be held. Like that last picture is like God holding me.
Nice. Okay.
And then I would like to say that I felt the world, how it is. And then after doing Raj Yoga, it sort of clears your mind and you can, so I felt as if I'm that girl, little girl, and I felt the angel is God. That's what I.
Okay, so you felt you were that little girl who in the end is saved by God, but before that was thrown around.
Right. Through Raj Yoga.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I feel I see myself in both the roles. As a girl, I stay connected with the angel supreme power. And when I face different challenges, different conflicts in my life, I stay connected with the supreme power and get myself empowered. And when I come in my role and get in contact with other roles in my soul connection, I use same power with them and I help to sort out and help them to come out from their challenges. With that power, I get empowered from the Supreme. So I feel myself in the both roles. It was very enjoyable. Thank you.
So both roles means the little girl and the big angel?
Yeah, both.
Okay, here's another question. Where does this story take place?
The mind.
Say that again?
In our mind. That we created it in us. We created in our life.
In our life
From ladies to come through our mind.
and in our mind. Yeah. It's interesting to consider taking everything that you all have said and place it. What if this is really all something taking place in my own mind? And not just where is it taking place, but when is it taking place? It's taking place now at the confluence age, right? When we become aware of what is it that we become aware of? We become aware that no matter how much ugliness is in me, no matter how much I can appear as stuck, controlling, pushy, bossy, all the things of narrow-mindedness, no matter how much all of that is in me, there is nevertheless also in me an angel.
The light there.
The light versus the dark within me. I'd like to watch this again, if you don't mind, and I don't know how it works to be able to improve the performance so we can all see it.
I would ask, I heard from somebody, you switch off your video, that will improve your bandwidth, as well as everybody else can switch off their video, and that may improve this whole session's bandwidth, something like that. So let's try that.
Okay. Now, there was a Dr. Geeta who asked if she could speak. I don't know if that was you or somebody else. Dr. Geeta?
Somebody else, yeah.
Dr. Geeta, would you like to say something before we watch it again? Okay, maybe we lost her for a moment. She'll come back.
Alan, okay, are you listening? Are you in?
Yeah.
Can you listen to me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay. This scene appears to be from some stage drama or an open-air theater or something, where they have depicted that a strong man, not only strong physically, but mentally having a lot of compassion for people around and who can withstand in such a gruesome field and trying to save little girls, it's a height of not only empathy, but compassion and strength, to come out of such a situation. So these things, I think that what my take is on this.
Thank you. Thank you. And as we were saying, it is one thing to consider that this all takes place in the world. It's also interesting to consider that this takes place in my own mind, in which case we're talking about compassion towards my own self and encouraging my own self to think and speak and act according to my deepest truths and higher principles of life. But we'll look at that in a minute. Can we watch it one more time? And this is the request, if everybody could turn off their video, and that might improve the band length so that we can all watch a better performance. So if you could just shut off your video for a few minutes. Yeah, so hold it on this picture again. And I think we can come back to video, but the point is that it still didn't project all that much better, but I think we got maybe a slightly better idea. And let us do consider that maybe where all of this takes place is within the mind. I'm hearing translation. The dark energy comes from, oh, I missed that, extremely dramatic, great performance. Yes, that's for sure. Okay, so yeah, you can take it off of this picture. The way I understand this video myself and how it connects to our two questions, which was, it's not easy to dig out the very roots of closed-mindedness, of being pushy and stuck and opinionated and not open, not accepting. Especially if these roots are things like expectations and some kind of neediness. So the two questions were, where do we get the power? And also how to work with people who have these expectations and are needy. They are not open-minded. They're not ready to listen to you, go with the flow, be out of the box. They're sensitive to criticism. They take it personally. You can't say anything. It's their way or the highway, as we were saying. How do you work with people like that? So how I put this all together is that the power, first of all, for dropping my expectations and any kind of neediness comes from my own self. God and even spiritual knowledge is all about getting me to understand that principled living, qualities and values are the truth of our species. And that this is that time for such truths to be emerged and nurtured. And that each and every time I reach for the baby angel inside, against all the other demons which have me programmed and conditioned for non-principled living. So each and every time I reach for the baby angel and I think or I speak or I do according to a higher principle, I am strengthening and nurturing the truth in me. Let's be clear about what some of these higher principles are, especially if we're talking about open-mindedness. Did you make me co-host, Anuben? Because I will try to share a screen here.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
And so let's see. Can I find this? Here we are. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay. So if the opposite of open-minded is to be stuck, opinionated, stifling of others, unbudging, set in your own ways, which leads to behaviors like pushiness and controlling and bossiness. Could we not say that the qualities of open-mindedness, unlike what we saw in that icebreaker you had in the beginning, is that we would be able to listen to others, we would be accepting, we would be trusting and patient, leading to respectful behaviors, humble behaviors, dignified behaviors. I'm going to look at that a little. Open-mindedness means I'm okay with criticism. I'm okay with being wrong. In fact, one of the biggest lessons I've learned recently on this whole subject is that it's much better to make a wrong decision than to make no decision at all and keep fluctuating and studying and examining all points of view. We have to move forward, we have to decide, but not to be afraid of making a wrong decision. A wrong decision is better than no decision, because if I can be humble, I will also be open to learning that it was the wrong decision, in which case I'll apologize. I'll learn something and I'll move forward. So this kind of humility, to be okay with change. It means even that sometimes I will have to take a stand. Open-mindedness doesn't mean intellectual hospitality to such a point that any idea, every idea is welcome because there's nothing else there. No, I can have my opinion. Open-mindedness simply means that I'm well researched about my opinion and I'm always ready to hear about other ideas, but I definitely still am required to have an opinion, and often as not take a stand, but we're going to take a stand with dignity and royalty. So we're able to be listening. The expression is, open your mind before you open your mouth. Very nice. We're able to be accepting, accept others as they are, which involves trust, right? Because what I'm trusting is the learning curve of others. I'm trusting the journey of others. Or I'm even trusting life in the sense that I might very well be right. My idea might be the right one, but maybe it just isn't yet time for my idea. Other things need to happen first for my idea to work. So to trust a much larger picture that I am just one player within. So of course, we're then talking about patience too. All of these you can call aspects of open-mindedness, but you can also call them principles of higher living. And as I was saying before, this is where we get the power. By understanding and requiring of myself thoughts and words and behaviors which reflect these higher principled expressions of life. I have to feed that baby angel. And each and every moment where the demons emerge and would want to repress, suppress, toss, make upside down, and confuse my inner goodness, that is exactly the moment in which I need to be. reaching for my higher, more principled, value-based life and perform accordingly. That's where the power comes from. My relationship with God, of course, introduces me to that baby angel. I am the child of God. I am made in his image. And definitely God is giving me all of the energies of those qualities. But if I don't understand that this is what I am, originally and eternally, and if I don't make myself responsible for that, then my one step of courage is missing, and God might be helping, but I won't be able to receive that help. So I'm suggesting that the power to keep myself open-minded, to keep myself behaving from a higher value system, comes from myself. And how I have to work with people who are not working from higher principles. How I work with people who are closed-minded, not playing the same game and not playing by the same rules. I think many of you would have been saying this all along. I have to model this new way. I have to bring the energy of patience, the energy of trust, the energy of respect, including my own self-respect. Because often as not, when people are not being as we need them to be and as we know one should be now, it's not because they don't know that it's not good. It's because they don't have the power to change. Many times, people would still be controlling and bossy, for example, not listening, not accepting, not because they don't know that those things aren't good, but they don't have the power to stop themselves. So what a huge contribution, what a huge donation, what a huge compassion and benevolence to be able to offer the very energy of that acceptance, that patience, that trust. Model it. Be the change that you want to see in the other person. And we know these things. It's the kind of foundation of a good spiritual practice. But, you know, really, honestly, will I do that? Because that is the work of these times. The world needs models of what we're talking about. They don't need anybody more talking about it. You know, when Brother Manoj first said to me, can you come on board and talk to us about open-mindedness? I said, you know, okay. I opened up the internet just to see what are people saying about open-mindedness. My goodness, there is no end to all the talk about open-mindedness. But now it's got to be that real energy of all the aspects, the qualities, the angelic-like energy of open-mindedness. The decision is now, isn't it? Now. We have to be the change that we want to see in others. This is how we have to work with people who are not open-minded. So like this, we really truly can finish whatever expectations we have of others, and we can finish that awful stuff called neediness. We can really step forward and be a model. And anybody doing this, anybody raising their hand in front of God and saying, I would like to do this, I would like to model the new way, inject back into the drama of life this much higher energy of angelic qualities, then these ones, God himself calls his angels, and anybody who wants to can play this part. So somebody raised their hand. Somebody wanted to say something.
Om Shanti. Really thankful to you for this such a beautiful video you shared. I myself start with the open-mindedness, how I have to work with other roles, other souls I get connected. But I ended up with the spirituality, with the acceptance, with the faith, with the open-mindedness, what I want, what Father, Supreme Beloved Baba want to me become. I have to get myself open-minded for that. I should be so much confident on that Supreme and me. Yes, I will become that pure angel. What Baba expect from me. I ended myself on this. This is my open-mindedness for me and believe on that. Baba, such a good, beautiful video. Thanks a lot to all of you. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else want to say anything? If you're new here and have not shared your WhatsApp and email contacts, you can please send to. That's a admin message. Anybody else want to say anything?
So I think actually, Sharonah, we are approaching the close. We need to do a meditation as well. Hope that's okay. We have 5-6 minutes only left. So, can we just take a quick comment from Dr. Geeta, and then we'll propose the vote of thanks with Sister Claudia here. Thank you. Sister Geeta, go ahead.
I thought you were speaking. Yes, it's wonderful, very, very nice. And you actually, Baba Gyan has come through this word that you spoke about open-mindedness, that it is all within us. We are closed. We have shut the door inside, and of the double lock, we have to open it. Baba always says, use the Godrej keys. And that's so fantastic to hear, it's a beautiful reminder how we need to work within ourselves, not outside. The world is inside, the beauty is inside, the shower is inside, the rainbow inside, the garden is inside. There's nothing beyond that. We can shine through and through so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. I posted a question in the chat box.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We really, really need to believe that we are what the world needs right now. We are what the world needs right now. Not even we have what the world needs now. We are. And we need to rise to every single challenge in the world as it plays itself out in my life, my relationships, the situations in front of me. Rise to the challenge of it with higher living principles, virtues, and values. And every time I do this, the angel energy, the truth of our species is strengthened. And it's a donation to the whole family of humanity, right? It's in our hands. And we only need a small handful of people who are committed to this, pledged their life to this. We only need the critical mass to be doing this for this night of humanity to finish and the day to begin. So how great is this work? How great is anybody who's raised their hand and said, I will do this with my life. This will be my effort. This will be the attention that I'll give, the quality of my thoughts and my words and my actions. And God himself thanks you for that.
So thank you so much, Sister Sharonah, for truly facilitating this, not a talk, I must say, it was truly a facilitation experience for all of us. And I would now request Sister Claudia to please propose the vote of thanks. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Manoj Bhai ji, photo also for openness, such a beautiful session. Without photo will not be opened.
Yeah, we'll have a photo session after the announcement. So don't worry, we'll do that. Over to Sister Claudia first. Yeah.
Om Shanti. Thank you a million times to be with us today. I understand it was the last moment, but you really, there's so much open for us to see all the different sides that we have not seen yet. So I always think that, and when we have an open mind, we are always content. So because we can place the shoes of the other ones and see what the other ones are going through. If we have a closed mind, we get stuck. What we think that should be like that, and then we think, I am the one who knows everything. So when we go, we have, of course, we have to go through the principles, because there are principles that we have to go through, and that the principles of life, the principles of what I work for, principles of this organization, but still the mind needs to be open to see what the other one is going through. And that way we become content, and the other one also can start understanding. So I think you brought all the details very nicely today, and thank you a lot for that. And so happy Easter to you and to everyone who is here with us today. And I'll see you again. Thank you very much, dear sister.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your openness, and I'm glad that I could come up with something that added to the incredible work you already did on this subject, and that it wasn't somehow just repeating what you already did. That's thanks to God, I think.
So thank you so much, both of you. I'll just quickly share the announcements, and then Anu sister will be ready
I'm
with
ready.
the photo. Okay, so all of you know, within the next 12 hours, we are just awaiting this silence retreat, which has been postponed in the last month. So we are finally doing it in the next 12 hours from now on abundance. So for morning time for India, and West Coast, it's the evening time. So please do join when whoever can. And in the league further, we have the episode 63 on punctuality. And again, on the group messages, we'll start tomorrow now about the latest spiritual Murli teaching which we have. So you'll get the Murli concepts, or the Murli extracts which we do on punctuality, what we have those divine teachings here. And it'll be Sister Jenna who will be sharing with us her wisdom next Saturday. And again, as we have the workshop with us always, so it is Sister Dipti from South Africa on punctuality. This elegant calendar Sister Kosha has developed. So just we do send it to all of y'all in our emails, and also our WhatsApp group DP has that, so that you are aware which event is happening on which day. And these are our websites, and Sister Anu had also pasted in for everyone in the chat box the link for the workshops and the link for the episodes in English. So if you want any other language, just replace the word English, either Spanish, Portuguese, etc. So with this, I would now request Sister Anu to please take the photograph. All of you are requested to please show your videos, keep your videos on. And after this, we'll go in the meditation. Yeah.
So everyone, open your video, that we don't want to miss you. Got it. Thank you. Thank you, Sister Sharonah. So we can experience the meditation.
I think it needs to be a short meditation, correct? Okay.
Sorry, Sister Sharonah, I'll take your leave. I have another meeting with the Peace Village. I'll just take you. It's exactly just starting in a minute. So I'll take your leave.
Thank you very much. It's a beautiful program you've created. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Presence. We enjoyed it. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
What will it take for me to approach any situation in my life, any challenge in my life, any person, challenging person in my life. What will it take to approach them with no expectation and no neediness? For this, I myself need to be clear about the game of life God is proposing I play. I need to be clear about the game of life that God wants us to play. I need to be clear about the rules of this game. What is the name of the game? Now, when the world is in such collapse and situations and people can be so challenging, have we understood? Have I understood that the name of the game is truth? The name of the game is fullness. And the number one rule is, let me turn myself towards God. Let me open myself to the light and might of the Almighty One. Let me embrace the partnership that One is offering. Let me join with the One above. Because when I do this, I do become full. And as I, the soul, fill myself with all that God is offering, then I can respond to every challenge from fullness, from love, peace, compassion. There can be respect, dignity, patience, trust. And each and every time I require of myself this fullness, these truths in the way I think and speak and do, then these truths are made strong. They enter the world and this long night of humanity can finish and the new day can begin. Dear God, let me be a conduit of your beautiful truth. Let me become so true, made in your image. By your grace. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you so much. It was really very heart-opening session. Oh, thank you so much, Sister Sharonah. We can't thank you enough for being here today. Thank you, everyone.
That you're offering. Very exciting. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Om Shanti. All best wishes to everyone. You're from all over the world. It's so great.
Bye, everyone. See you again.